Hello and welcome to the racecourse again. Another day of Champions League football, another double header, and what a remarkable day it could turn out to be. Wrexham, of course, tonight, 6 o'clock kickoff, are facing Riga, the prize, a place for the first time for one of those clubs in the second preliminary round of the Champions League. First, though, we have this game, the third place playoff for the group. It's Glentoran against Pyunik, the two sides that lost on Wednesday. But I've got to say, it's going to be a fascinating match. Two very enjoyable games that they ended up losing. And quite frankly, anyone who thinks this is meaningless, well, we'll see it isn't when we go through the teams in a moment, because both sides are strong. Both teams have not rotated, and that just shows that a win in Europe, even in the first preliminary round, is really, really, really worth something. It's serious currency. Likewise, the importance, of course, of coefficient points. I mean, all these clubs are entering the competition at this level because we don't have enough coefficient points accrued by the actual countries from, but teams from that country, beg your pardon. Brain stopped working for a second. So yeah, Wales haven't had a win in a while until last Wednesday, till we came along. And likewise, the Armenians have not had success in this competition, so the coefficients are low. Winning games gives you a better chance of coming in at a later stage of the competition in the future. That's something which Wrexham are very aware of. We're not just playing for us, we are playing for Wales. We are playing to help Welsh women's football, because victories by us will help to ensure that Welsh teams get in at a later stage and can do better, and automatically will have a decent coefficients from starting at a later stage. And also, of course, because if we can push up high enough, we might get more than one team in Europe. So these third place games are important, and for Northern Irish and Armenian football, well, there'll be a lot of fans back home who don't support these clubs but will be wishing them very, very well. Of course, Glentoran were beaten 4-1 by the side Wrexham will face tonight. Riga in a very exciting match. Riga showed their quality, but having said that, Glentoran, it could have gone very differently as the teams come out. Glentoran in a kit that will be familiar to Wrexham fans. It looks similar to the kit that we had as a change kit 2 years ago. They do have the same kit manufacturers. Pyunik in all red, as we basically saw Pyunik perform decently against us. We won 4-2, deservedly so. And Glentoran losing 4-1 to Riga. That's the game tonight, of course, as the teams shake hands. And I tell you what, it will be interesting, I think. It's a slight clash of styles. Pyunik are physical and technical. Glentoran shows that they've got a good amount of quality, especially up front with Conway, and down the side, Vance on the left. So what will become of those two teams in this match? Glentoran have got an unbelievably stupid fixture list, and the Northern Irish Football League just forcing them to play more and more and more. They've got a game pretty straight away when they come back in the league. They've been playing constantly, and so it's a surprise to me when you look at their team that they haven't really rotated. I thought they might decide to change things around again. It shows that this competition is important. Even coming third in the first preliminary round has got a lot of value. The two alterations that they do make are Emma McMaster coming in at the back, and she will be partnered by Foy, the captain, who came off injured, of course, in the first match, but was very, very impressive. Really showed such heart. And the other change is not terribly surprising, in that Naomi McLaughlin, who looked superb in that match when she came off the bench in the second half, she comes in midfield. Watch out for Gracie Conway, number 16, who really, really, really looks good. As for Pyunik, well, interestingly, we talked about maybe some of their players being ringers, suddenly arriving and being announced the day before. They're not picking them. Well, at least not some of them. So the Brazilian Luisa Roberto, the Argentinian Scania, they're both out of the team. Amber Lockwood continues in goal, though, the American goalie who I think upset everybody, it seemed, by wearing a number 2 shirt. As on the screen you can see the teams coming up. Yeah, watch out for Mia Moore as well, who's lively in support of Conway. And then that Yerevan side, and the Sessian is one of the returning players who spent a year away from the team. And of course they got Gazarian, who was very skillful at number 11. And the 22, Gurkesian, who was, well, for me, maybe a bit deep in that match. He has terrific creative qualities, but she's playing quite deep in midfield, and well, I for one was very grateful for that, to be honest, because I was quite happy to see her not getting into dangerous areas. But Wrexham were comprehensive winners in that match, weren't they? And deserve to go through to that final match tonight. This should be entertaining, because both teams, as the crowd made some noise, showed that they are capable of creating, shows what they can do in the first match. And away we go, Karapatian, another player who's got good attacking credentials but is playing at right back. The skipper Jejan knocking it forwards, and here is the opposing skipper Foy, who was such a warrior in that match. McMaster's pass is inaccurate though, and there's early danger here. Badalion's done really well to get a toe to it, but Asatrian just can't quite make it. Now then, Keenan as well, nice interception. Chance to break away for Glentoran. Looked really good, I thought, on the transition on Wednesday. Vance, number 8, like I said, good left foot, delivers well into the box. McMaster, a little bit of pressure there. Loughran also had a really good game, I thought, in midweek. And here is Moore. Good work, turning away. Can she get past? Well, shirt's being pulled, as the Glentoran fans over there pointed out to the ref. Referee is from Finland, Salomitinen. Remember, you can get in touch using the hashtag AskUCL, AskUCL for this match, and then Ask Wrexham for the game tonight. It's a great touch by Conway. I think you could tell if you watched the last game. I'm really impressed with Conway. She's fouled there by Gazalian. Quick free kick. They'll want to double up on Vance like this in these situations. That's a great ball in! Oh, so close. Well, she's got such quality, like I said, in the left foot. Moore really looks more than Vance to cut inside and get up in support of Conway, and that was a tremendous run. Just couldn't steer it on target. Conway is a one-person press, really, as the rest of their teammates just hold position. They're doing well. Looking to make it difficult for Pyunik to come out and play. So yeah, get in touch using the hashtag AskUCL, AskUCL, on Blue Sky and Twitter, and I'll endeavour to see what you think of it. McLaughlin just prodding it away. She made a proper impact when she came on. I thought she was very impressive. Creative, worked some nice forward passes. And Torrent just apply a bit of pressure, but Pyunik are able to come out comfortably to the other side. Karapetian. Good ball. And nice awareness by Gazalian. Free kick's given. Gazalian is the player who was fouled. Ooh, that's a lunging challenge, evaded well. And an ambitious hit by Karapetian. Since she's winded herself in doing so. It was a good firm block by McLaughlin. Here's Foy. Conway, it's too high for her. Zhegjian, the captain, nods it out of play. Karapetian with the throw in. Badalian makes the run. Here's Vance now. Master going long. Moore hadn't been able to get into that position. It's Fight who cleared it. That's a nice little touch in midfield by Koyari, a Japanese midfielder. That's a firm challenge. Bit of revenge, perhaps, from Gakasan, who was unhappy about a challenge on her in the centre circle, wasn't she, a couple of minutes ago. Vance. Nicely done. Like I say, McLaughlin got nice feet, and there she is now. It's a good ball by Vance. Zhegjian's had to come out from the middle to deal with it. Wasn't much conviction in that. Good tackle again by Vance. No foul given. Karapetian's down. Free kick is given in the end. Ian Shane on Ask UCL says, what are the plans for today? Yeah, the stream. And then 6 o'clock tonight, the Wrexham stream, also, of course, on Wrexham's YouTube channel. Karapetian suddenly recovered. And the keeper Lockwood, as I said in that game on Wednesday, there's a highlight reel going around of her. It shows her to be exceptionally proactive when the ball comes into the box. Really good in the air, but she wasn't as convincing on her debut for the club on Wednesday. Karapetian's caught in possession now then. Conway. Glentoran will be very pleased with their start here. They're getting a chance to impose themselves. Keenan's patient there, waiting for the angle to open up, and Vance not quite able to get there. Unlucky. She's looking very impressive. Was there a double ricochet? No. Goal kicks given. Australians giving it away. Moore, good touch, Conway. Only one in the middle's way for McLaughlin. It's too strong. Important that Karapetian got a good first touch. There's a poor clearance, mind. Caldwell. Oh, unlucky. Karapetian really read the intention there, didn't she? Close it down, can give Vance any space. Oh, good turn. Keenan over the top, unlucky. Koyari. Here's Caldwell again. I thought anchored the midfield really well on Wednesday. She was essentially sacrificed as Glentoran tried to take risks and bring more attacking players on, but she did a solid job, I thought, in front of the back three. That's a snappy pass, Conway again. She's gone on the overlap. Not able to get that right. Good cover, to be fair, by Fight. He came across and just blocked her view of the 6-yard box. Ooh, just hairy moment there. Caldwell and Kaya can't sort it out, and there's danger. It's the right ball. Just about came off her line in time. McKinnon. It was a nice pass, and the back four just dragged across the left. Just for a moment, Glentoran were open. Tom on Ask UCL says, all right, Mark, good to hear you. Nice to read you. I hope Glentoran can convert chances into goals today. They look fit for it. Yeah, absolutely. They're much more able to get on the front foot here, aren't they? And you can't help but having a little think as well, maybe from a Wrexham perspective of, you know, don't underestimate that they gave Riga a proper test, and we might try and get some clues as to how we do against Riga. Here is Vance. That's into a good area. Jajan does well. Captain of the Armenian national team as well as Pyunik. Darn it. It was hard finding research information. I'm going to use it all. Nice instant cross by McLaughlin. Ooh, I dwelled on that. Got a bit lucky that Ghazalian was there first. McLaughlin, the ball on the overlap was probably the best option. Kurd made a nice curving run down the left. Yeah, I've done my research and I'm going to use it. So here's an interesting fact for you. The faces on Mount Rushmore, because the granite is really hard that they're carved into, are expected to last for 7 million years. There you go. Just a free service that I offer. Pointless trivia. When you're on the chase, you'll thank me I told you that. Now that's nicely worked, isn't it? Necessina made a good run on the right-hand side. It might have been worth playing the ball in over the top and seeing, but as it is that a foul? No. All the officials have been very good, I think, in these Champions League games so far. They've allowed play to continue. We have a Slovenian ref tonight. Fair play, UEFA and FIFA, they're not scared of paying expenses for huge bands of officials to go roaming around the world. Moore, nicely done. Fight working it inside. Kalachian is one of the players who's come in. Left side of the centre back. Yeah, if you are in the Wrexham area, if you are a Wrexham fan, make sure you're here tonight. This place will be bouncing. Tremendous atmosphere. 1,400 here for the second game on Wednesday. It was brilliant, and of course we all know the Wrexham supporters group are just unbelievable. There's a fair peppering of them over on the far side actually watching this match, and I'm telling you, come and join them. They are tremendous. Here's Caldwell now. Vance. McLaughlin did take that. Pass wasn't quite right. Vance has gone on ahead. Caldwell is calm on the ball. Lucky ricochet, and Caldwell was alert. Now then, Keenan driving it forward. It's not a bad idea. But again, I mean, she's made a lot of big interceptions, Yezhan, already, hasn't she? But they are working runners into those channels either side of it. Like I said, Karapachin is a forward-thinking player. And when she steps up like she does now, well, maybe there's just possibilities for Glentoran to work some master. Great feat. But it was a decent press, and they weren't able to get the ball out of that area quicker. Vance working hard. Ghazalian, poor touch. Now then, can Glentoran take advantage? To be fair, Pyunik's rest defence was in good shape. Foy looking to exploit a little bit of rotation down the left-hand side, but it's too strong. But yeah, Glentoran looking sharp. They're moving the ball around well. Counter-pressing well. It's good foot in. The session, that's sloppy. Now then, Caldwell. Oh, wanted too long. Ghazalian's sharp, nips it off it. Poor ball forwards. You sometimes just wonder. Satrian's quick. They're not lifting it over the top for him. Now then, here's Conway. Oh, unlucky. That little touch from Yezhan was enough to knock it away from it. Yeah, Satrian looks quick from what I've seen of it, and just think drop that ball in, because Glentoran are pressing, so their back line are stepping up quite a bit. They're leaving space in behind. Can they not just put that ball in over the top occasionally and test them out? I'd certainly be tempted to try that. Oh, nice turn. Good challenge, though. Moore tracking back. And good position taken up by McLaughlin, but a touch just let her down. There's a player in there, isn't there, McLaughlin? Kerr. There's good movement down the right. Loughran. They can keep the ball moving now. Vance in a nice advanced position. McLaughlin's made the right run. Oh, good work by Vance. Nice touch by Bedani. Let's see if Satrian can use her pace. She's rather turned away from the support. Dogged, but ultimately good tackle that by Loughran. Ghazalian outnumbered, referee played a good advantage there. Pulls us back. Fight. Ooh, Foy missed out on that. Glentoran was so good on that sort of delivery into the box. It's the first time Pyunik have really tried to deliver something in from the sides, and they didn't deal with it. But yeah, against Riga, I thought they defended the penalty area tremendously. The central defenders were really throwing their bodies in a line. Oh, unlucky. Conway, oh, say that. Great effort to try and pick the ball up anyway, and Yezhan is really not happy with Karapachin. He was trying to claim it as ours. It certainly was now. Satrian's made a good run, and that's a nice idea in there, but McKinnon gets there first. McKinnon not the tallest, but I was watching the goalkeepers warm up for Glentoran, and oh, she's got really good handling on crosses. She took some really awkward ones. I'm a goalkeeping nerd, I'm sorry. Yejan. Telegraphed that rather. Keenan can come forwards. Hasn't got enough on that. It was the right idea. As ever, Conway is running those channels, isn't she, whenever she gets an opportunity and the ball's won back. I've got to say, I had a whale of a time on Wednesday. It was epic. I loved doing 2 games. I mean, apart from the fact that my team did so well, oh, it was just brilliant doing 2 football matches in a day. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm so looking forward to this as well. And this is a good competitive match, isn't it? Good foot in again. Caldwell. Return passes under hit though. Good decisive work to claim it back, and now can Glentoran benefit from that? McLaughlin. Vance as always is available, stretching play. Kerr is calm on the ball. And Foy looks for the killer pass. Oh, it's important stretch that. Karpathian did well to adjust and intercept. Oh, there were real problems. That was a hell of a good ball by Foy. Nice from Ghazalian. Kerr won't give up though. Well, I tell you what, regardless of anything else, Glentoran's fans in town and at the ground, and Glentoran's team and their attitude certainly have earned our best wishes, and we wish them the best for the rest of their season. I mean, Pyunik, I don't think need to be wished all the best for the rest of their season, because they won every single game last season. I reckon they're probably, you know, I'm very happy to win the league, but they're going to, whether I wish them well or not. But Glentoran have made a really positive impression on or off the pitch. Karpathian, cute idea, until it runs into Caldwell, who is rock solid again. Here's Loughran. Conway again, just backing in and doing well. That's a really good battle between her and Yejan. Just as she had a great battle with Rahimova, the right-sided centre-back for Riga on Wednesday. Oh, now that has fallen very kindly. It's a decent effort and it's in. That was a hell of a good finish. There was an element of good fortune how it came through, but Badalian, the player who scored against Wrexham with a fine finish, has done it again. She got the first half goal in the Wednesday match, and there she is. Great finish, and McKinnon frustrated. She got her fingertips to it and was unfortunate. There was a little bit of good luck the way it came through to her. The pass to her was under hit but dropped perfectly, and Paul McKinnon just couldn't stretch enough. Great finish by Badalian. Now, as they were celebrating, you really saw the whole Glentoran team got together on the edge of the area and had a big crisis meeting. I mean, quite frankly, same again. It's surely the order of the day for them. They've been doing all right. That's come very much against the run of play. They just need to keep plugging away. They haven't created enough yet, but they've shown that they've got plenty. They just need to make sure that they don't get affected by that, because, like I said, there was an element of good fortune. About the way that ball came through. Here's Caldwell. Good driving run from Moore, like that. Loughran, left-footed cross. Yejan's there again. Here's Moore. Does well. Wins the corner. Now again, as I said earlier, Glentoran looked good on corners. They threatened on set pieces. So in swinger, Vance is good at dropping these balls into the 6-yard box. Keeper's crowded. It's going to the far post. He can't control the header. Unlucky. But again, Glentoran, just like on Wednesday, getting first contact off set pieces. That's important. If they can keep doing that, they may get something out of them. So they certainly worked the keeper from them on Wednesday. They got goals in them, Glentoran, there's no question. They look bright and constructive. They just need to keep it going. Pyunik going to go long as Glentoran committed 3 players forwards to press the short goal kick. Caldwell, firm header. Conway. Moore. Loughran high up the pitch. Fed in by McMaster. Here's Moore again. Loughran in support. Drags the defender with it. Good run inside and it's not used. Moore drifts inside herself. Needed someone to drop off maybe for a cutback. Foy has it. Good switch. That's a great ball. Unlucky. Vance is close, but they're continuing to knock at the door and they just need to keep working it like that. There's some nice little diagonal runs and movements. Maybe that pass could have been fed in from the right flank. It was a really good cut inside. I think it was Caldwell who made the run. McMaster throwing it into Foy. Vance just about judges that right. Now Conway's offside here. Yeah, flag goes up. Unlucky. That happened a few times on Wednesday as well to her, but to be fair, you know, she's looking to get in around the back. There's a risk you're going to run, isn't it, when you're trying to use your pace and running behind. Nice touch by Koyari. Good strength as well as McLaughlin buffets her. Karapetyan. Ghazalian. Clipped by Vance. Ghazalian, if you watched the last match on Wednesday, you'll know he's the Armenian Player of the Year last season. Over 20 goals, over 15 assists. They had the top 3 scorers in the league. That's how dominant they are in the Armenian game. And like I said, they won every single league game. Oh, that's good work. Kernan bursts through. That's great work. Koyari can't stop her. Can she release? Or, to be fair, they really collapsed in on it. Good scrapping. Keenan's done ever so well there. And again, I like these referees. They allow physical contact. Vance can shift it out from there. Foy now. This is good crisp passing. Caldwell. Vance is good movement. Caldwell's on marks inside. Conway. Caldwell still hasn't been picked up. And she's on the edge of the box and acres of space. McLaughlin. Good determination by Vance. Good ball in as well. Here finally is Caldwell. She maybe needs to go around the outside, didn't she? The brakes on that. Asatrian gets a bit lucky, but there's players coming up in support, and that's a huge interception by Loughran. She had to make that. Second time Asatrian's maybe picked the wrong option. That's a decent ball towards Conway. Unlucky. Difficult take. Nearly got to stuck. Asatrian, like I said about maybe they should be playing balls over the top for her, that she certainly is looking threatening, running in behind on the left-hand side and carrying the ball. Her decision-making, maybe not so good, but she is a real danger and a proper outlet for them. The goal has come through her breaking. But Glentoran are on top of this game. Loughran. McMaster gets a good return pass. Now can she pull it back? The pullback was on. That was a key interception, wasn't it, by Kalatian. It was a good little step out by Conway to make herself available for the cutback. Good foot in. Karpathian with the throw in. That's nice, good touch by McLaughlin. Vance drilling it up to Conway, but then tries too much. Koyari. It's good ball, good movement by Moore. Loughran goes beyond. Moore is determined to take on fight. As well, another corner, another chance to deliver. So, in swinger. Lots of noise coming from the coach. Free header, off the line, unlucky. Loughran it was, still going, nice turn. Unlucky, just turned into trouble. Gazanian with a big tackle. Yeah, all that shouting was the Pyunik coach, who was clearly trying to keep his team on their toes, but they still lost Loughran. Keenan just gets there first. Helped, I think, by the fact that Asachian tried to run the wrong way round her and just caught her heel, and it seemed to affect her more than Keenan. That's nice now. Possibilities opening up here. Just too much on it, McLaughlin. Well, she'll get onto the missed touch by Karpathian. Conway likes turning. More is available. It's a nice idea, but Fight has covered that and is pushed in the back. The ref's quite right. But Moore was never going to get there. Fight is protecting it well, and I think she just had to try and force her to play the back pass to her American compatriots and see what came from it. Just landed on the shoulder quite heavily. Kokalian. Fight, that's a snappy ball around the corner, and she's available for the return pass is Koyari, and she might pick up this loose touch. Arrived too late, and you don't want to mess with Foy. She is so impressive at the back. Keenan. think Yezhan could have done with the shout from the keeper there. Oh, now that's sloppy. Conway. You saw how good she was at holding the ball up on Wednesday. Here we are again with that. Kerr has got an overlap in Keenan. She's annoyed it didn't come her way. There have just been a few moments where a better decision from a Glentoran player could have opened things up. That's overhit. Sachian's switched flanks and is snuffed out. McMaster. Now then, his options here to the left for Caldwell. Oh, and just about well done, Keenan, keeping it going. Carpaccion tried to con the ref there. There was no contact. Conway now has options either way. Good contact. Unlucky. Keeper had to get down. She deserves a goal, Conway. I mean, over the 2 games, she has looked so good. That was a good strike. Lockwood, good footwork, though. Did well to get across and push it away. She's a very, technical term, springy goalkeeper, isn't she? That's into a good area, good punch that by Lockwood. Ref's not interested in the foul. In fact, it's Moore, I think, who's suffered from it. Kerr, ref's going to stop play. Looked like it was maybe a whack to the head as the keeper came to punch. It was a very good punch that by Lockwood. Sort of thing, like I said, I've seen her doing on video, but that she wasn't really managing to do against Wrexham. But in a crowd, she was really strong and aggressive. And I think she may have just caught Moore with her arm inadvertently. So the teams are going across to have a drink. And yeah, Wrexham have got tonight's game, of course, to think about. Massive, massive occasion at the racecourse. Tom's on Ask UCL says, well, Mark, another useless factoid for your commentary. Tom, it's what I'm all about. I played saxophone at a do held by Glentoran sponsors Be Perfect. Product launch or birthday or something, I don't know. Oh wow. Did you, what I want to know is, did you marry your style of playing with the product? I don't know what Be Perfect is, but I suppose you could hit a B and it's perfect. No, I'm not going to say that. I'd sort of hope but doubt that Be Perfect sell like gym equipment for bees. Just pop them up. Mrs. G puts all sorts of stuff out with the bees now, back garden. It's cool, including a bee ladder. And you thought Moss in the IT crowd is making up moth ladders. I'll explain that in a bit, but let's see Glentoran here. Down to 10, more off the pitch. That pass isn't accurate from McLaughlin. It's one for Conway to touch on, unlucky. Foy still up there, was looking to latch onto it. That's just overhit. Solid from Keenan. McLaughlin can tidy it up. Yeah, she's got this like bee ladder thing where it's like a drinking bowl for the bees, but bees can drown apparently in the water, and so you put marbles in and then they climb up on the marbles. It's really cool. So yeah, I'm hoping Be Perfect is like some sort of, I don't know, dumbbells for bees, dumb bees. Looked like a foul, not given. Fight was up for it. High Desert Dragon says Pyunik are good at those lobs. Yeah, they do. They certainly are, aren't they? Battalion's done it twice now in 2 games. I mean, it's something which people used to notice with the women's game, of lack of height of goalkeepers, and certainly at the top level and coming down more and more, you don't see that as an issue. That's into a good area by Vance, and Fight's only managed to half clear it. That's a foul, surely? No. The Glentoran bench, I think you can hear them. I'm not impressed. Satrian still out on the right-hand side, not available. But you still get, sometimes, you know, it's a legitimate tactic. I'd say Lily Jones exploited it with that fine goal that she scored on Wednesday, that you're not getting many real big 6'5" keepers like Arthur Okonkwo for Wrexham who are going to stretch up and catch things that are miles in the air. And therefore, if you can hit that letterbox across the top of the goal, you've got a chance. Again, Conway looks just offside, yeah. She's snappy though when she takes a touch, turns, hits it. She's a proper striker. Speaking of players that, of course, are eye over these 2 games, Wheelie Wrexham fan says, I'm a fan of the Glentoran keeper and her purple kit. Yeah, it's a good kit. Yeah. Nice purple kit. And of course, you know, she wears it in tribute to Prince. Enjoying the back and forth between the squads. It may be scoreless, just for the goal they've done so far, but not due to a lack of effort to move the ball through midfield. And then replies that saying, I spoke too soon, congrats to Battalion. So throw on a halfway line. Karpatchin's up to take it. It's quite fun being in a football ground that isn't fully open. There's that throw, Foy let it run, but it's been given the other way. Yeah, I'm right next to the Betty Buzz suite, and I walked through it. I've never felt more alive. And that to throw the other way. Now then, something happened off the ball then. Glentoran's bench were very angry, and one of the coaches being told to sit down very firmly by the 4th official. Doesn't see much. It's a good press, hard press by Pyunik, wins it back. Kriali's touch is not great there. Ooh, neither is Caldwell for a change. That's good work, just holding that ball up by Necessian. So free kick, chance for Pyunik to put something in there. Wheelie Wrexham fans says, seems like these refs are allowing a lot more contact than usual. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's well dealt with by Caldwell. Now then, McLaughlin only has Conway ahead of her, but if you can hit Conway, of course, she'll hold it up, and there's space on the flanks again. Vance now, Conway looking to time her run that time, and now she'll try and get in behind. Oh yeah, Jean can't get it quite off it. Conway's won the corner, has she? No goal kick. I must admit, I thought it had ricocheted back off her, but the way that she left it. Again, the coach is having an argument with the 4th official. Yes, going back to Wheelie Wrexham fans' point, definitely seems to be allowing a fair amount of physical contact. There were a couple challenges, weren't there, in the last couple of minutes that I think were fouls to my eye. But, you know, refs being consistent, as long as she doesn't now suddenly start penalising any physical contact, then being consistent, fair enough, you live with it. It helps the flow of the game, I guess. I like a ref doing that, as long as they don't go too far and start just allowing roughhousing, which I think happened quite a lot in the World Cup, where referees were told for the first couple of weeks don't been... Oh, hang on, this is dangerous. Brave headed out by Osachian. And Ghazalian has kept it in, unlucky, but can't benefit. No foul given for the high boots. Carpathian's nailed that one, and it's an awkward one to deal with for McMaster. Ref has stopped play just as the play got up. So Osachian, well, strictly speaking, I think if the ref stops the game for you, has to go off, don't they now? But to be fair, she didn't ask for the ref to stop it, and she got back up again. So common sense, I think, prevails. Yeah, in the World Cup, there were clearly instructions to referees to allow physical play to go, and they did. And I definitely think there were times when referees just ignored fouls in order to fulfill that brief, which seemed peculiar to me, I've got to say. And then, as always happens with these initiatives, it all died off, and after a couple of weeks, it was all back to giving a free kick every time someone falls over. Good touch by Vance. Nice ball, that's what Conway wants. Onto her right foot, just too much on that. And again, as Yejan getting a standing ovation from the subs. Vance, though, big touch by Carpathian. They need to get through. It's 1 minute of added time. So just one more minute for Pyunik to dig in. But Glentoran are coming on strong here in the final minutes. Good ball, Loughran takes it from Kerr. Overlap is on. McMaster, first time, that's into a good area. Unlucky, decent header. Yejan gets the touch and manages to dig it out. Poor clearance. The two Glentoran players rather went for the same ball then. Moore and Conway. Pressure building. But time running out in this first half. Can we get one more ball into that box? Foy delivers it. Conway scrapping for it, and Yejan comes out on top. Like I say, those two are having a hell of a duel. Good work by Kerr. Barely any time left. Will Caldwell pull the trigger? She does. Good strike. Oh, yes! What a finish. Sorry, I apologise to your eardrums, but good God, what a hit that was. Nadine Caldwell with an absolute worldie here on the oldest international football ground in the world. She graced it with a screamer right in that top left corner. The end that Mickey Thomas scored that fabulous goal against Arsenal in '92. Talk about making history. Caldwell drills it, and it is the last touch of the half as well. That's how you finish a half of football, and it is no more than Glentoran deserved. They have had the lion's share of possession, the lion's share of pressure, and that, well, poor Lockwood had absolutely no chance. Caldwell with a worldie. She claps the Glentoran fans. Oh, that was something. What a way to end a half. A really enjoyable, balanced half of football, but woof. And if your hearing has been damaged by me screaming, then please, by all means, sue Nadine Caldwell of Glentoran, because she made me do that. Honest. Enjoyable first half. 22nd minute opener by Badalian was again a really nice finish, but that hit there by Caldwell, wow, right out of the top drawer. It reminded me, actually, if you can forgive me for going all Wrexham on you, we started up the Goal of the Season award, which is named after Steve Edwards, a lovely guy who used to commentate with me, absolutely smashing fellow who sadly we lost about 10 years ago, and we named a trophy after him, and the first winner was Jay Harris, a tigerish midfielder who scored an absolute screamer pretty much from that spot and pretty much and into that same top corner. It was a beautiful goal against Barrow. Well, Caldwell there, oof, that was a proper hit, wasn't it? Goodness me. Tell you what, not bad at all. Right now, Daniel Roberts. Interesting one, this. Couple of very interesting points. Actually, 3 interesting points. Daniel, thank you so much. Let's work through them.
Firstly, how many mini tournaments does the UCL have before the league phase? I'm assuming you mean what's the path through. Basically, the winners tonight will go into another 14 mini group. In our case, hosted by Køge, who are the Danish team, about 30 miles south of Copenhagen. And the winners of that group, which will have exactly the same format as this, will then go into a more traditional two-legged playoff. If you get through that, you're in the Champions League group stages. There aren't as many teams as there are in the men's Champions League group stages, where, of course, you know, if you finish 18th in the Andorran League, you're going to be in the playoffs. So I hope that answers the first part of your question. This group, then another group, and then a two-legs playoff. So out of those 3 stages, one team will progress to the final tournament. Now then, second part of it, I went to Wednesday night's games. I was shocked not to hear the famous opening theme when players were walking out. Is it similar to having no official advertisement boards? Good questions. Right then, firstly, the music, no idea. I mean, UEFA, what I can tell you is that UEFA do not allow you to play the Champions League music before these preliminary games. Why? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's absolutely no good reason for that. It is the Champions League. The Women's Champions League has a different theme tune, but it has the same self-important pretentiousness about it. But yeah, why don't they do that? Do they feel somehow that they would devalue the proper Champions League? I mean, I can't see how, by playing it in the Premier League. You are playing in the Champions League. This is the Champions League. So I find that very, very odd indeed that they don't allow it. Apparently it would have been fined if we'd played it. So you're not allowed to. Weird. That isn't linked as such with a lack of adverts, because as you can see on your screens now, the electric advertising boards are off, and also the banners are covered over. Now that is because UEFA demand that only their sponsors can be shown at their competitions, just like FIFA. So they will be sponsored by a range of companies who are actually on the bottom of my team sheet, ranging from credit card companies, companies that make crisps, athletics companies, online retailers, and luxury watch manufacturers, amongst others. And of course, there's a beer company. So, none of those are Wrexham sponsors. We have got our own adverts up. We're not allowed to show our own adverts, therefore UEFA just don't allow any adverts at all, if that makes sense. They're not going to provide hoardings for these games for their corporate sponsors, and also, let's be honest here, it would cost them quite a lot to make them, and they're not really expecting big audiences, and those sponsors wouldn't have paid for the right either. So there you have it. It wasn't always like that, of course. The commercial side of football's moved on so much. I remember in 1984, Wrexham playing Roma, the men's team, obviously, in the European Cup Winners' Cup. And, well, the 80s, of course, a time of terrific recession. And Wrexham was particularly hard hit. We played Roma, of course, a much, much bigger club. It was live on Italian TV, so they paid for advertising for Italian TV, and to me as a kid it was quite weirdly exotic to see all these adverts for products that you'd never heard of. All these strange Italian things are all around the ground. The thing is, like I said, we were hard up, so we actually didn't have a lot of sponsors because companies weren't giving money for that sort of stuff, and as a result, some of those Italian companies, without realising it, and certainly without paying for it, had adverts up at the racecourse for about 6 months. So you'll see all this footage of like Wrexham playing Aldershot in front of 2,000 people. And behind the goal, the one that sticks in my head, and I don't know why, is Barilla, which I think is a pasta making concern, was behind the goal that Caldwell scored that screamer in. So this advert, it was up for about 6 months. It was really strange because we didn't have other sponsors to replace it, and we just couldn't be bothered to take it down. So yeah, not that the barrier got any benefit from it. I suspect people in Ruslan and Krigog weren't suddenly thinking, oh, I feel the need for pasta, I need to import it. But yeah, there you go. It's all much more tight ship now across football in general. And yeah, sponsorships on a very different basis. I will say also, I think I'm right in saying this, if Wrexham men's team get into the champion, or maybe if this team got into the actual group stages, I think you can't sell the first 2 rows all round the pitch because of advertising. Either, and if you see it at some grounds, they put a second row of electronic adverts because they have the companies who sponsor UEFA Champions League games pay for a bigger sort of size of advert than you get normally on the side of pitches, so they're more stand out more. And so you sometimes see there's a second bank of electronic boards placed a little higher up and placed purely for the camera angle so that it looks like one big advert, and if you see it from any other angle it looks wrong. So because of that, the people in the first 3 rows can't see, or even if they don't do that, I've still seen it where they've not sold tickets for the first 2 rows, no one's allowed to sit in it, simply because that gives like a clear area around the advert so it stands out more. So yeah, look forward to those adventures in capitalism should we get there. Soup Money says, Mark, great to hear you, but I think this hashtag is used for the unbelievably crass louts UCL membership. It's a bit redundant, but you tried telling them that. Absolutely so. Anyway, go Glentoran. Well, yes, absolutely. Oh, unbelievably crass louts. I mean, maybe I'm the founding member. Let's just bear that in mind. Huh? As you can see me, you can also see I've got Sherry's flags. Sherry, one of the massive fans of Wrexham, and one of the early ones. And this flag has been on the American breakfast TV when the first season of Welcome Wrexham came out, and she was on the news basically spreading the word. And gosh, it's such an honour that she's given me this. And also, you can't see it out of here, I've also put one up on the front of the Betty Buzz suite because I have 2 from her, partly because of her largesse, also because I left this one in Britain Ferry and it took me a year to get it back. Oops. I wasn't proud. This is made out of some crazy NASA designed material, by the way. I don't know what it is, but Laszlo, my Bezzy mate and podcasting cat, can't stop licking this. He utterly adores it. It's got some sort of feline crystal meth in it or something. I don't know. Let's have a look. What other messages we have on Ask UCL? Wrexham all the way. He's got good timing. Only missed the first quarter hour of the Pyunik v Glentoran match. Started watching and boom, there's the first goal. Claiming the assist today. Absolutely. So I think Jarvis got an assist on Wednesday, another of our regulars. And Tom has explained, I was saying about Be Perfect. Turns out, Tom says, I'm going to have to disappoint you then. Be Perfect is a run-of-the-mill common or garden cosmetics company. But every bee I played was perfect. Exactly so. On brand as always, Tom. Also, I'm a beekeeper? No way. Not as good as a goalkeeper, but seriously, Tom, that is impressive. Whoa. Well, I was a goalkeeper, and I think if I attempted to be a beekeeper, it would all end up very Macaulay Culkin. Spoiler alert. I won't say any more than that. Although, if you haven't seen My Girl, it all turns a bit unpleasant. Yeah, beekeeping. Cool. Sorry, just happy there. Yeah, my wife puts out plants that bees will be attracted to help those guys out. Now, let's see, what else have we got on Ask UCL? One day I'll aggregate these across 2 social media platforms and I will look so clever-ish. Right. Otherwise, I'm going to start my song and dance routine. Terry says, watching the game now, really looking forward to the Wrexham game. UEFA needs to sort this qualifying system out. It should be 2-leg games, home and away, and all nations have a minimum of 2 entrants. For example, Adran Premier champions and cup winners into Europa Cup. Yeah, fair enough. Hang on, just got dodgy geezer, you know, all these people crowding my game. Do they not know who I am? Unbelievable. I don't apologise. That was the best bit of half-time so far. Yes, didn't know what I was going to say. Yeah, so, I mean, Terry, I'm on your side with this. Totally agree. You don't grow a game. Women's football is still growing. The top end is, of course, developed superbly, but you don't grow it further down unless you give people a chance. And if you look at this last World Cup, I mean, when they switched it to 48 teams, I just thought, well, this is purely economic. It is wrong. It is stupid. There's going to be silly mismatches. What a waste of time. But actually, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Because teams you didn't expect to get through, they showed what they were about. You know, teams like Curacao in the World Cup. You know, Cape Verde less surprising. They have been punching above their weight for a few years in African football, but yeah, they rose to the occasion. It was fantastic. They're talking about raising it to 64 teams next time, and whereas, you know, part of me says, oh my gosh, please no. Part of me says, do it, because look how well it went. So yeah, I agree, and I feel the same about the Adran Premier League in Wales, that more teams means ultimately more development and more improvement. As Pyunik are going to make a half-time change. 1-1 here at the racecourse, of course. Pyunik took the league very much against run of play, but then were pulled back by a screamer by Nadine Caldwell. So Pyunik have got Carlos Scario, the Argentinian centre-back who played, of course, in that game on Wednesday, made her debut for the club, and she comes on for Necessian, who has been playing up front and wasn't really able to make much of an impact. Interesting to see that Scania's going across to play as a right back, it looks like. So one change. Scania is on for Necessian. And we're about to get cracking with the second half. Keep those messages coming, because I should be more capable of keeping up to them than I am in a Wrexham game where I get overexcited in the second half. So here's Fight. Loughran did well there. Probably been pulled as well, but as well. McMaster. That's a good idea. Driving run down the flank by Keenan, and it was a really good intervention. Kaletian's taken a knock as a consequence. I think it was hip to hip. It wasn't a foul, but I think just took a knock to the leg, it appeared. And well, let's see how the second half pans out, with Glentoran having had the better of the game, but didn't really carve out as many chances as they would have loved to have done. They'll be keen just to find a little bit more cutting edge in this half. I guess that was an issue in a way in that game on Wednesday, wasn't it? Scania, the substitute, has got a headband on and a ponytail over the top, and was having real trouble actually sorting that ponytail out. In the end, one of her coaches had to do it for her, and clearly hasn't done it to her satisfaction, because she's totally preoccupied with trying to sort it out. Well, she's up now, so that's good news. Well, it looks like she did take a whack to the back of the neck, it looks like, maybe. Landed on her head, perhaps. But she's okay and able to continue. She'll have to go off the pitch for now. So Glentoran with an extra player. Throw in by Loughran. Glentoran wanted a foul there, not given. Pyunik tried to come out, and that pass does find its target. Nice little triangles that Kerr. McLaughlin has to stretch, but kills it and turns nicely now. Conway's been a nice little run. Kerr wants to cross instead, and doesn't get it right. For me, I just feel maybe get a little bit more out of Conway. She makes these great runs, and I just feel when you're getting into those positions, can Glentoran just get their heads up and be aware of it? Because she consistently makes these little runs in to nice areas in her channel. If you can pop it in early into her path, she'll hold her up, and she's in a better position to cross. She is a very good player. Caldwell's done well. That's good. Oh, she'll keep driving forwards. Can she square it? McLaughlin now. Looked like a foul on Caldwell. Referee hasn't pulled play back. It's a late challenge, a long time after the ball went away. Wow, that was a great run. Caldwell, after that fabulous goal in the first half, really drove into a dangerous area there. Excellent one. So got it tight in there. Foy's done well. Comes out of that crowded area. It's not so adjacent to the middle. McLaughlin helps it on. Caldwell quickly shifting it to the right, and they're stretching Pyunik with their movements on the ball. Caldwell's been taking up another good position on the edge of the area. Here's Moore. Now, can she get a shot off? She's picked up Caldwell. Rather pinged that. And Vance isn't going to keep us in. They are working those little positions and maybe just not spotting the movement quite quickly enough. A couple of just a slight amount more sharpness in their passing, and they could really open Pyunik up, you feel. Sachin still over on the right hand side. They've pushed Karapatyan, who, like I said, is usually a big striker or second striker, up onto the left hand side after the substitutions, and the Argentinian Scaria is now on this free kick as right back. Karapatyan is strong physically, good in the air, and has a nice touch, and be interesting to see her get half a match in an attacking position, because that's where I've seen her play previously. She's good. You can't help thinking, and I haven't got enough evidence to prove this, but you can't help feeling when you look at Pyunik, they've got so much going on in terms of creative and attacking players that in a league where the other team is much weaker than them, they're able to really put, you know, a lot of attacking players into defensive areas, into less attacking positions, if you will, and just dominate through their quality. Tougher at this level, though, as they found against Wrexham. Here is Karapatyan. Good work by Fight. Now then, Fight. Karapatyan, can she deliver? She's got into a good position. That's well read by Vance. Good first touch by Scaria, but great strength to deny it. And having won the ball back, Glentoran were hoping they might be able to get the passing. Conway was closed down well, though. It's a good piece of work by Kerr. There'll be extra time penalties after this match if it's level, which it just occurred to me will seriously cut into my tea time. Now then, that's a nice idea, but just overhit, aren't you? It's gone into the box, and Conway, good challenge. Those two fighting away again. It's one of the highlights of these games this week in the Champions League at the racecourse, this duel between Conway and Yezhan. It's terrific. Absolutely no quarter given or asked. good. And now McLaughlin. That's an idea. Early ball in, I think, is wise. Vance now with a chance to deliver. Oh, good cover that. Fight coming across the defence to cover as Conway was lurking, and that's what I mean, that extra pass, just picking players out early. That's into a good area. Conway was attacking that. Headed behind firmly. So Kerr with the in-swinger. You've seen Lockwood come aggressively for a ball into the crowd already. So that one isn't in her area. It's dangerous still. Foy got a touch. Oh, it's in! Prodded in. There was such a crowd of players around it that you really didn't think it had a chance. But somehow it emerged on the other side of the scrummage. And well, a thing of beauty, their first goal. The second one, well, not so aesthetically pleasing, but who cares? They all count for the same. And Glentoran deservedly have the lead. It was a good ball in, and Foy got the first touch. It was Loughran was in it, but it's Conway, isn't it? Conway, well, she deserves that. She has worked so hard up there. How ironic, the quality of her play throughout this game. And she scores with the scruffiest goal. But like I say, who cares? It's like Ava Stockley's goal against Pyunik on Wednesday. They've not dealt with the ball in the goal mouth, and doesn't matter how pretty that goal is, just score it. Referee tried to keep things going. Caldwell was being fouled. On and off, Pyunik press quite aggressively, don't they? They really get players around that ball. If you can get through that sort of aggressive press, of course, you can open up the other side of the pitch. Look at Master pinging it forwards. Good ball. Good ball up by Caldwell, springing their step now. That's a nice idea, but Conway had just run across a bit further than Vance realised. Galkallian's caught in possession. Now Conway thought about getting the shot off there, didn't she? Loughran's got three in the box to aim for. That's a good shape, Conway. Unlucky. Couldn't quite get the contact on. That backspin nearly confused Lockwood then. I think wanted to let it roll out for a goal kick and suddenly found it was sitting there in the 6-yard box. Glentoran got the scent of blood in their nostrils now, but Keenan's overcommitted now. Players breaking through the centre. That's a big, big tackle. There were players over through the middle lane for Pyunik. That's a beautiful touch by Ghazalian. Doesn't get the return pass though. And that's launched long. Long clearances for Conway to chase. If he can drop those in more towards the corners, I'd say is a legitimate idea. But Caldwell there, I think, just needs to get rid of the danger. The game had got a bit too open for Glentoran's liking, and they needed to deal with it. Is that a foul? No, it's not, but the pass isn't accurate. Moore will still get to it there. Running at Galkallian. And the midfielder does really well. But Glentoran, their passing's gone a little bit more snappy now, hasn't it? Now they're ahead. Caldwell. Really constant pressure. Hopeful one, but brought down well by Moore. Loughran can't close it down. But again, it's one back. Conway can't quite latch onto it. Yezhan's able to get the ball square. Fight. Gets rid. Karpathian does get the free kick. The referee thought about that. I think the ref was right. Fun this. Glentoran are preparing a change. As throw-ins given. Kelly Crompton is going to come on. Fourth official just waiting for the go-ahead and eventually gets it. And it's going to be McLaughlin coming off, but she's done well. Like I said, impressive off the bench on Wednesday and has looked lively here. So Crompton can sit in midfield. Ah, it's good. Conway into a good area. Dealt with by Scania. Crompton's first touch. So throw on the halfway line. Well, Wrexham all the way is an assist monster. Claiming assists for all the goals today, Jarvis. It says, laying down the gauntlet. First goal turned on the game just in time. Second, I'm not sure what that, oh, I do know what that means. I've just seen what the emoji is. Won't tell you what I was doing just before. Hey, I'd just woken up. It's not as awful as it. Certainly what I was thinking. And then the third, made breakfast during half time, stretched into the second half, finished, back to TV, boom again. Wow. Everything you do leads to a goal. You're like Elliot Lee. Good ball. And now possibilities here, but Kirk could make the ball stick. And Gakazian is able to cover. Pyunik men's team, the club of Henrik Mkhitaryan, by the way. The Armenian footballer, an absolute legend, incredible playmaker who's played for some of the top teams in Europe. Gazalian has done well to just pirouette out of that, and now she can be more orthodox. That's a good idea. Big interception by Keenan. Difficult ball to take for Koyari, but she's done well to carry it forwards, and Lineson's given a foul. Glentoran not happy with that decision. And certainly Keenan is showing exasperation to the Finnish ref, but Koyari overhit it, and well, looks like a really good tackle. Two really good tackles. The first one that was penalised, but sorry, that's a very good challenge for my money. Oh well, referees are allowed to get some wrong. Look, and Tonbury's so annoyed if something comes of this, because the third Riga goal is miles offside. That's a poor delivery. McKinnon does well. Decisive keeping, danger of colliding with the teammate. Didn't take out of the ball. Yeah, you know, Riga, their third goal, which was key because Glentoran were just trying to get back into the game in the late stages, was a long way offside. So another decision going against them like that, leading to a goal, would have been painful. Loughran, that's nice. And here is Conway, good idea. Loughran's followed it in, and there's three players in the box. First time cross is the right idea. It was well dealt with by Koyari. If you heard a crackling noise, Dan, I do apologise. It was me hitting the side of my head with a microphone. More. Caldwell helping it into the danger area. Lockwood's let it bounce. I mean, okay, she dealt with it, but it's the old cliche about goalkeepers. You want to get up and take the ball at the highest point you can reach, and you let the ball bounce as a centre-back, you're inviting trouble. If you let the ball bounce the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box, you are risking it. Keenan. Glentoran are really in control, aren't they now? Oh, that's great vision by Kerr. Is it too much on it? Oh, it's really well retrieved. Keenan again. Nice.
Squeezes it in as well. Good save, Lockwood. Again, typically, just Conway making those near post runs. Good contact on it too. Lockwood did ever so well to get a right foot to it. Brilliant interchange down the left. Keenan, superb with the cross. Glentoran are looking like they're going to add to this lead. Vance with this corner. They've mixed up the set piece as well. Scored from the last corner, of course. That's into a good area. Keeper can't get there. It's in. But, well, no offside flag. It was nodded in the goalmouth. Conway's got another. I gotta say, for me, I thought she could have left it and it would have gone in, and she looked like she was offside. But it's 3-1. I could be wrong, but I was expecting to see the flag up then. But like I said, they were terribly unlucky with that third goal on Wednesday. It's a great nod down, and remembering the goalie's off the line. Oh, maybe not. In fact, maybe it's come off the keeper, to be fair. So I'm seeing the linesman's point of view here. Fair enough. And I'll tell you what, Conway deserves that. Really deserves it. She has been outstanding, and now she's got a couple of goals in this Champions League match. So 3-1. Pyunik have got another subs ready. It's Karina Yezhan, namesake of this player here, the captain, who came on as a sub on Wednesday. That's given away. Handball given. Koyari, the guilty party. This could get ugly for Pyunik if they're not careful, because the pace of this game has just got a bit beyond them, and Glentoran have got a hell of a lot of momentum behind them. I was saying before about trying to think about tonight's game, but Glentoran have shown they're a strong side here. Just adds to the admiration for Riga, doesn't it? That's a good ball in. Foy's unmarked. Can't get hold of it. Sharp save by Lockwood. That ball just came off Foy's mishit volley with no pace on it whatsoever. And the substitute, Crompton, that was a difficult finish, wasn't it? Trying to help it on, but without any pace on it. Diverting the path of the ball wasn't really going to trouble Lockwood. Big chance to make it 4. That's good skill. Free kick. Scania just did a bit of this, didn't she, in the Wrexham game, staying down, making sure she gets decisions. So here comes the other Yezhan. Battalion, the scorer, is the player who will make way. Well, she's made her impact. Battalion, who's gone off on the far side of the pitch. She scored fine goals in both matches, but that's the end of her involvement in the Champions League this season. Yezhan goes over to the right-hand side for now, in an advanced position. So Karapatian launches that in. An awkward one. Asatian wants the free kick, but doesn't get it. Loughran using her height well. And that's good, determined work by Caldwell, and she's threaded that down the line. Unlucky. Nearly managed to find Caldwell. I beg your pardon. To find Conway. Just waiting to hear how Wrexham all the way assisted that last goal. That's good work. Draws the free kick. There's a comment coming from Todd, and I'm worried that I'm going to give away knowledge of Game of Thrones if I respond to it. So I don't normally like that sort of TV, but I did get into it. Loughran, that's nice. Oh, he's danger. Caldwell, big save. Lockwood did brilliantly. She's hurt herself, has she? But she did ever so well, then came up really quickly. Caldwell has been such
motivating force in midfield, driving play forwards. Got into a good position. Lockwood very quick off her line. Brave gets the block. It's a corner. But of course that will be taken once Lockwood's actually okay, and she is able to continue. Vance will drop an in-swinger in on her now just to really rub it in. So she signals, she's got a pull back on the edge of the box and uses that. That's nice. Good touch as well. McMaster can't get in the first attempt, can at the second. Good hands by Lockwood. Early delivery was potentially on. Ghazalian made a good run. Instead, oh, it's out to the right-hand side. Scanio has never looked in complete control of that. Good work again by Conway, just hunting it down. Yeah, I'm not sure what Todd was referring to when he mentioned Brienne of Tarth, but my recollection of her is that she would have been a good goalkeeper. It'd be difficult lobbing her. Now, that's good. More available for the return, but Loughran's done well. And then tries to play the disguised reverse pass. Doesn't come off. Oh, good touch by Moore. Loughran again. Conway's pointing where she wants it. Loughran goes for power. Corner. It was a good strike, but Lockwood probably shouldn't have let that go behind for the corner. In all honesty, she'd be disappointed in that. Drops it down. She dropped it down to the first part of it. All right, but it hits her foot. A touch unlucky. We're past the halfway point now in the second half, and Glentoran a good value for this. In fact, the next goal feels like it. If there is going to be one, it'll be from them. Vance once more. That's nice free header. Oh, it's awkward, and it's in. Great delivery from Vance again. And oh, referees disallowed it. Now then, offside. Does it? Well, you can't be offside from a corner. Okay, this one does need picking apart. I think it was it Caldwell again who headed it in? The ref took a long time, so they must have been consulting over their earpieces. So it's definitely been disallowed. But on what grounds? All right, so we'll have to wait and see. I mean, that was... okay, let's see if Glentoran really looking to make up for that and get another one anyway. Here's Conway. That's good work by Kakalian. Oh, not for long though. Conway too strong. Will she have a go? No. Moore wants to cut back. Loughran in support. Loughran driving forwards, fights challenge. Oh, Loughran's beaten too. Great work. Oh, that's a goal. You're not disallowing that. Brilliant goal. Brilliant work by Loughran. Lovely dribble, beat two, clipped it in under the bar, and Glentoran deserved that. Great, great driving run by Loughran. Beat the second challenge, perfect cross, and a great downwards header that. Tremendous contact on that. Well, they deserve it, to be fair. Frustration for the veteran Gakazian, who's tried to make that second challenge, couldn't quite get there. But fair play, that was a nice goal by Kerr. As Glentoran have got another sub prepared. Annie Timoney and also Rogan is going to come on. Rachel Rogan. That's not the best pass. Compton couldn't pick out a teammate. Oh, Caldwell driving in again now. Just got that wrong. Conway was waiting for a shorter pass. Rogan's a striker, of course, but Conway won't want to come off when there's a hat-trick at stake. Although, like I said, Glentoran got a silly schedule coming up, and they could probably benefit from giving her a break. Elsbell, she's so important to them, isn't she? Okay, so let's see who does come off. McMaster is the first. And she makes her way off on the other side of the pitch. And Rogan is replacing Moore. So both straight swaps. Timothy goes in at the back. Moore goes on the right hand side of attack. Rogan, beg your pardon, replaces Moore on the right side of the attack. Good challenge. And Timothy is looking to support Loughran. Loughran does well. Caught late. Referee has a look. Decides to play the advantage. Does well. Crompton. Oh, doesn't get hold of that. Satrian. Karpachev's rather gone into an area where she can't see it. And Loughran again intercepts. That assist, capping a really good performance. Kerr. Nice layoff by Rogan. Return pass by Conway's over ambitious though. It's Tomley's first touch. Yergjan. Touched by Karapati, but she get a second chance now. Works in the other Yergjan, Anita. Turn pass is too strong. Crompton covering. Chris Babako wonders if the Game of Thrones reference was about the ref. Foy gets rid. Really, Wrexham fans in Glentoran scoring for fun now. High Desert Dragon, wow, they're steamrolling. Yes, I like it. And as the corner's given, hang on, Wrexham all the way has claimed a fourth assist, or has the dignity to put sort of in brackets. Mirroring laptop to TV. TV stopped working. Freeze frame of game. No sound on either. Had to switch it off and continue watching on laptop. Sat up just in time for the fourth goal. Does this count as an assist? As much as all your other assists do, yes. I can't help thinking that you are just doing things and then... Hang on, that's a nasty one in, and McKinnon can't hold on to it. But the ref's given the foul. Ref gives the foul. It was an awkward one, and the height it came at, I'm not sure she needed to be fouled. I think she'd lost balance anyway. But it is disallowed, and it remains 4-1. We have plenty of goals in these games, haven't we? Loughran. Nice lay off by Kerr. Rogan on a chase. Bit of space on the edge of the area. Rogan couldn't quite latch onto it as Kerr tried to put it through. Nice change of feet by Fight. That's a tongue twister for you. But as the change of feet allows Fight to take flight, she's flattened. I am available for all your alliteration needs. Rogan. And remember, everybody, and this is important life lessons, if you're ever cornered in a dark alley and told to define alliteration, it's not repeated letters, it's repeated sounds. I can't emphasize that enough, everyone. Your lives may depend on it. Repeated consonants, to be even more specific. But the sounds, not the letters. Yeah, I feel I've made a difference. Now then, Loughran's gone down. Kerr tries a shot, not a bad effort that, got a hold of it well. Loughran, I beg your pardon, Conway, is it? No, she's okay, doesn't need treatment. Good effort that by Kerr, just dug it out well. I know I'm being over-sentimental, but I'd love it if Glentoran could get Daisy Conway on. She has a horribly under-hit back pass for the 4th goal that Riga scored against Glentoran. Clearly she's going to feel bad about that. It'd be nice if she could come on and actually get some minutes in a win here in the Champions League. I know football doesn't really work like that, but fair play to it. It was unfortunate that she was caught cold straight after she came on and just under-hit the pass. That's a good ball by Conway. And, as always, Caldwell's persistent. Now, 2 against 2 in the middle. It's worth popping her in there, but well dealt with at the back. Yeah, Kalachian read the danger well there. Karapachin, good physicality. And here she is again. Good ball. Satyan's been threatening throughout. Conway again running from deep, and Karapachin with a bit of a wild challenge. Thank you, Todd, for your kind words, saying I'm a man of many talents, life lessons from an English teacher. My next book, you must read it, it'll save your life. Yeah, maybe I should do some sort of key life skills manual. Yeah, you're not going to get that. And the number 2 launches it away. I mean, other key lessons I've learned personally, you know, never buy a centipede a meal and expect them to reciprocate. Tables are not edible. Possibilities here, that's ambitious. It's possibly Caldwell. A, I've seen enough of Lockwood to wonder if a long shot might trouble her, and B, happens to know from what happened in the first minute of added time in the first half that she's got a decent hit on her. Keenan does really well going to ground to win that. That's a good ball punched out though by Correa. And it's a decent idea, but nobody's really got in there. Got the consonant in Koyari's name the wrong way around then, didn't I? Oops. Sorry about that. Rogan up front. Conway's been playing on the right since Moore came off. And Rogan battling away. Outnumbered. Oh, that's sloppy. Good early ball. Rogan's... Oh, no, I don't... I'm not sure that is offside, you know. For me, I don't think that Kalachian had quite stepped up in time. That's good. Nice triangles, moving it around sharply. But Pyunik have kept their shape, and Glentoran will have to start again. Nice turn by Sachin. Claims she was clipped. Ref agrees, and Caldwell will get the first yellow of the match. The Glentoran manager, Kim Turner, just telling Caldwell, don't do that again. I'm sure I heard her saying, don't do that, it'll only make it worse. I'm not sure what that would mean. Probably means I need my ears tested. She's now sitting on a cool box a la Bielsa. Fight. Oh, miss hit. They keep possession. That's a good foot in again by Caldwell, and a big tackle. Or would it have been 2-on-2? Now there's a runner going in behind. Nice switch of a Ghazalian, but not as accurate as the idea. Conway is, well, was going to be helped up, but has decided she needs to tie her laces first, so fight's offer isn't accepted. Yeah, so when my self-help book comes out, I'll make sure I publicise it for you all. It'll sit alongside my first volume entitled Things You See When You Haven't Got Your Gun. A bad choice of title, as it turned out, because you're not allowed to, danger from Rogan, you're not allowed to buy it unless you actually own a gun because of that title. And it was very much hampered the sales that you had to show a gun license, a valid gun license to buy it, especially because in Britain you're not allowed to have a gun unless you're a farmer. Or a truck driver, oddly. Never fully understood that. Here's Conway. Sachin back to Jeja. She's overrun that. Now there's danger. Option out wide is used. Vance has got 3 players attacking the box. Puts it in there. Good interception. Now then, he knew what was coming there. Good hit from again. Conway's been superb. I know she's on a hat trick. I might consider bringing her off now. She looks quite tired. She has not only been good, she has worked herself into the ground. But her body language, you know, the ball goes to the other side of the pitch. She's got her hands on her hips, and she just looks a little uncomfortable. And she's not got that snap when she's running. She didn't get into the box then when that breakaway happened on the opposite side from her. Yeah, give her a rest. Kazan gets it back. That's nicely worked, is it? Yeah, Kazan about to keep it in. Foy. McMaster. Again, the passing has been really good in the second half, hasn't it? Kerr. Good ball into the channel for Rogan to chase. Good pace by Feist. Did really well there. Good block by Rogan. Couple changes are going to be made. Their last changes for Glentoran. Ellie Butler is going to come on. And so is Kelly Bailey. Kirkazian gets it away. Foy loves a chase for that 50-50. Battles typically well. Fair play. A lot to admire in these Glentoran players. Enjoyable performances. Caldwell spreads it, and Vance is happy to take the corner. And possibly also take the corner, if you see what I mean. So here come the changes. And yeah, the outstanding Grace Conway comes off. She scored 2 quite deservedly. She really has been brilliant, and she gets a round of applause that is thoroughly deserved. It's Keenan who comes off as well. And she did very well, both defensively and coming forwards. Really good performances by Glentoran. 3 minutes left, 4-1 up and pushing for more. Here comes Vance's away swinger. Into a nasty area, keep it as well to get a contact on that. Here's Bailey now. First touch is an awkward one back in, too close to keep it. She apologises straight away. Karapatian helping her on. Oh, that's come through for Kerr. Now then, are there possibilities here? Butler is available down the right. Caldwell back inside to Kerr. Rogan. It's good movements outside by Butler, but overhit the pass. Well, I must say, if you are a Glentoran or Pyunik fan who's watching this, I just want to say thank you so much for following the game with us. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing it to you. Best wishes for the rest of your seasons, and thank you as well. We hope you've enjoyed our hospitality here at Wrexham, and hey, come and see us again sometime. Here's Fight. Concedes the throw in the end. She's been wholehearted at left back, hasn't she, the American? And she read that well too. Tassian's stopped in her tracks by Caldwell. Rogan can't take a good tackle by Butler though. Rogan now. Nobody in the box really to aim for. Vance is arriving at the far post. Tony's fed it in, but Kerr can't keep hold of it on that occasion. Garkasian. Good strength from Lochran. Ref's not interested in the foul. Nicely helped on by Caldwell, and that's opened things up. Kerr looks to hit the great ball to the left. Vance can finish here. Oh, what a recovery by Scania. Vance wants the penalty, but it looked like a very clean tackle to me. Oh, it was a real chance that on a strong left foot, and she just couldn't get the shot away. Great tackle. Ball's not long. It comes off Bailey. 3 added minutes. Caldwell turns into trouble. Garkasian works it wide, it won't quite stick, and lucky Fight can't keep it in. Timoney will take. And Rogan too strong. Fight launches. That's a free kick. Crompton is pushing the luck a little bit with the ref there. Wasn't really going for the ball. Gonzalez. It's a good change of feet. Can she deliver? That's a nasty one. It's the bar. It's in. A tap in. And it was good, constructive play again by Arsatian. And as a consequence, an open goal tap in. The simplest of finishes. And it's the other Yezhan who scores. Easy, easy finish that. And 4-2. I never like it when people talk about consolation goals. Not much consolation when you've been beaten like this, but well, they've got another goal under their belt at least. Scania had to adjust well there. They just skipped past it. So Pyunik, as it stands, will lose both games 4-2. Glentoran will take the coefficient points. That's a tempter. On the stretch, though, Jejan again is really composed. She's a good defender, isn't she? Foy to fight. Good vision round the corner by Kokassian. Good persistence as well by Sachin, who set up that goal. And Pyunik just trying to at least finish strongly for the sake of their self-respect. Here's it again. Nice turn. Well, they've suddenly found a second win rather too late. And just to prove it's rather too late, there is the final whistle. Glentoran win 4-2. Deservedly so, without question. They really were impressive. Showed heart coming back when they let a goal in against run of play, and in the end it was a pretty comprehensive victory. Badalian scored another fine lob, just like the one that she got on Wednesday against Wrexham, to put Pyunik ahead halfway through the first half. But in added time at the end of the first half, Caldwell scored an absolute screamer. That was worthy of a Champions League theme, I tell you. Second half, Glentoran, who had been the better side in the first half, really dominated, looked snappier and started to carve out chances. 2 goals from Conway, who led the line absolutely superbly, put the game beyond Pyunik. A really well-judged header by Kerr shortly after a goal had been mysteriously disallowed for Glentoran, made it 4-1. A goal in added time, right at the end of the game, a tap-in allowed Jejan to score and make it 4-2, but it is Glentoran who go through to claim the 3rd place, to rack up a few coefficients and get a win in the Champions League, which absolutely is not to be sniffed at. Right, 3 games down, 1 to go. The first 3 have been absolutely fantastic fun, really good entertainment, lots of goals. And we now await the big show tonight, the final of this preliminary round. What a massive, massive game. Someone's going to make history. Who is it? Wrexham or Riga? Can Wrexham be the first Welsh team to get beyond this stage of the competition? But Riga shows in beating Glentoran what they're all about, and we've just seen what Glentoran are all about. They're good, but they had enough to deal. They didn't have enough to deal with Riga, so it'll be very, very interesting to see just how that game shapes up. Join us, of course, from 6 o'clock kickoff. But it's been an absolute pleasure to bring you this game. And indeed, these teams' other matches, they have really graced the racecourse, this historic stadium, the oldest international stadium in the world, with their performances. They've done ever so well. And as a consequence, well, they've given us a fabulous build-up to this massive match tonight as Glentoran break from their huddle and make their way off the pitch. They have won this match 4-2. They've done ever so well. The scoreline certainly didn't flatter them, and well, they can take that now into their crowded fixture list as they continue in the Northern Irish Football League. It's been a pleasure to bring this game to you. My name is Mark Griffiths, and I do all this stuff for Wrexham, and it's an absolute joy, every moment of it. It really is, and coming and seeing these 2 new teams and getting to know them has been a pleasure too. Thank you all so much for your interaction on Ask Wrexham. Thank you for watching, and as always, the badges have been magnificent in their streaming work. Join us tonight when there'll be even more fun as Wrexham take on Riga here at the racecourse. 6 o'clock kickoff, but with the final score of Glentoran 4, Pyunik 2. I've been Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.